I was playing some Mario Tennis on the N64 to get kind of, while I was waiting for you, but also just to get kind of in the mood and whatnot like that. And sometimes that game can really get you.
Well, I'll be honest, I don't know tennis that well. So in my mind, when I was playing it, I was basically just playing it like as if it was Pong, but with Mario characters. That was kind of like, so when I was playing it, and I would like get it over like out of bounds, like how the fuck is it out of bounds? Like I wouldn't really know the process or exactly because I don't know the tennis rules as much. Now I know. When I was first playing, and I was just like, like fuck that Lakitu. You just get all pissed off because Lakitu's the ref, right? Is Lakitu the ref?
Yes.
Yeah. So,
because in the N64 era, he had all the jobs. He had all the shit jobs in a sense.
Well, when he's not
carrying the camera for Mario the whole time, as you keep adjusting, he's like, "What do you want? You want wide? You want close? What, Mario? You keep spinning it around,
My thing is that guy. Is it like is it like a union, or is it the same guy who just has like basically has like a website? Like, I'll do it all, man. What do you need me to ref a game? Do you need me to pull you like hold like the light? Like the little light, you need to pull you out of the ditch. I have a towing company too,
He's like Uncle Ruckus from the Boondocks, who just has all the jobs in town,
minus the racism.
Yeah, who knows? Lakitu might have a little bit of racism in him. You don't know.
He might. I mean, he has like
racist against Koopas. He's like, I don't like those red ones.
I mean, literally, he's above everything else. So, I mean, he could just be like
he's above both literally and figuratively.
Yeah, I mean, unless we never hear him talk, maybe he has that like out of tune, like brass horn, that like Uncle Ruckus song whenever he comes in.
I always love that tune. Or maybe it's that one where it's like a Mario Kart. There's certain people he doesn't pick up. They go over the edge.
Like
he gets a little judgmental. Like Birdo goes over the edge. It's like, sucks to be her.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking stupid pink ass bitch. Like what?
Go on. Fucking pink people.
Surprised you could hear me with that wide fucking mouth. How loud you all fucking talk. Like what? Nothing. Just says Mario racism.
Exactly. One of those ones. Like for some reason they're cool with Italians though, Lakitu is. Maybe because they pay well.
Yeah. Well, he's the one. It's his name that's footing all these like different. Like he's footing like, hey man, while I'm going to go save the princess again, I want you to make a documentary of me. So can you film me and follow me through? But seriously, you gotta be good at your fucking job, right? Stop this like getting clipped behind whatever I fall behind. Just try to keep up. Just do your fucking job, right? All right, cool. Oh, do you want to come to like the racing thing I'm doing? Do you want to do ref this game? So Mario keeps giving him work. So even if he is racist against Italians, he's like, well, this one, at least he's giving me a job, right? It's not like I'm grabbing a beer with him after work or nothing.
Yeah, exactly. They'll have to fucking share spaghetti with him or some shit, whatever they do. like him and his fucking mopey brother.
Hey Lakitu, do you want to come down here? Or just we sure that you see like the spaghetti like plate and like the pasta going up because he won't sit at the table with him.
Yeah, he keeps like 100-foot distance.
It's like, no, I'm good down here. He's like,
it's funny when you also even think about Mario 64, the fact that they had to have that character in there to almost like sort of explain why in 3D you have this camera that can move around. It's like, well, you can't just be freely moving around. There should be somebody holding the camera so that the player knows that it's a camera that's being adjusted. Well, we're like, nobody questions that. Past Mario 64, have you ever seen a cameraman in a game?
No, that was actually thinking back on it at the time. I didn't really think anything of it. It's like, yeah, sure, okay, cool. But then like playing the game, thinking back on it, I'm like, that actually is pretty clever. I'm not gonna lie.
No, yeah, it is. And it is kind of cool, as it does add that like extra depth and everything. I still think to this day that like you look at Mario 64 and it probably, even though it's like one of the first 3D games, like right out the gate, it's also at the same time like one of the best done ones still to this day.
Yeah, there's things that are still a little rough going back to playing it, but it's almost more like once muscle memory of it all kind of kicks back in, you're kind of like, it's the only thing I ever have trouble with that game whenever I replay it, which I don't really replay it that often. When I do, it's when you're like walking down like a very narrow, um, like a very narrow
like
path,
a beam.
like a beam or something like that, and the camera goes woo. I'm like, oh fuck, here we go.
Well, because Lakitu, once again, it's on the C, button, so he's only got so many like angles he can get of it. So sometimes those ones, it's like it never gives you the right angle. But I felt like Nintendo kind of was like, no, you need to get used to 3D. You can't just have the camera behind him the whole time. What was this fucking Resident Evil 4? Like, no.
But they get the thing where like Mario gets like clipped on like the ledge, so like, just that little little death tap that.
Yeah, Zach, just like tiptoes off the edge. You're like, I was so careful. I thought I was gonna make it, and then there I am falling to my death. At least it's not like Sonic the Hedgehog where he starts burning up in the atmosphere.
Yeah. Well, that was at least kind of cool,
I always thought that was badass. It's like Sonic falls off the spaceship, and then there he is coming back in, just burns up.
Well, that was also like an E-rated game. Like, oh my god, they put that in an E-rated game. You just have like Sonic, Tails, or whoever, just like.
I guess that one would probably like the rating board's like, well, nobody's ever brought to us a game that has a character burning up in the atmosphere. Well, what is that considered?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think Sonic would be the first to do it. You assume it would have been like some like a fatality in like Mortal Kombat or something,
Yeah, exactly. Just get punched off the space station and fall down and like burn up.
Or Dragon Ball Z game, even,
Yeah, exactly. Or fucking Superman drops somebody like, Superman, no!
Injustice, yeah. I guess, yeah. But by then, no.
Well, Injustice, Superman would be like chucking children off the space station. That's always like, well, that one's like, he doesn't give a fuck.
It's for the good of peace.
When he shows up, I always just think when he shows up to that fucking Joker party, and he walks in there just like the most angriest father, like just coming in, like almost if like a World War II dad walked in on his hippie kids having a Nazi party. That's like the look he had in his fucking eyes. Just so much rage. Just fucking kids. And there's like, that was the day that dad broke. What'd he break? Well, no, it broke mentally. He killed everybody at that party. He didn't realize that we were joking. Well, I wasn't joking. Yeah, fuck you, Timmy. We know you weren't joking.
Just like, why so serious? Like, he just gonna take that many people doing like bad Heath Ledger impersonations.
So he was gonna put an end to this. He was gonna curb that fucking like trend.
I want to say this real quick because I just feel like it was really popular for now. Now people don't do it as much, but there's that period where people are like, I get the Joker. Joker really speaks to me. And like, they're like, what'd you see? I saw The Dark Knight. That's about it. And just like, it's like Joker's been around by that point like 70 something years.
Yeah, so I think since 39 or 40.
Yeah, not even the writers, not even the DC cut, because she changes with every writer. You don't get the Joker, so stop this whole like I get the no. It's just he's just you're wrong. I love that movie, but he's just an asshole. That's all it is. Yeah. You can't say there's like real life. I mean, it's fun to watch. It's an entertaining performance, and I still love that movie. And I think that was one of the best. That is the best live action portrayal of him. But the idea that people like try to add philosophy around that. So the idea of like, you know what, I don't like the idea of like Superman killing, but if you're going to go on a mass murder spree, please do it to these like edgelords. Like, why so serious? Oh, fuck.
Exactly. Pretty much. Yeah. Because like Joker is just literally a serial killer terrorist who doesn't really have a plan and just goes with it.
Yeah, and at least the Dark Knight movie, they kind of acknowledge that a little bit. Like he acknowledges I'm just kind of talking at my ass, sort of, but it's fun. It's what I do, that thing.
I mean, he's 2 steps away. He could do the Ace Ventura ass talk.
If only he lived, they would have got that by movie 3.
That's actually one of those ones like
interrogation room.
I almost oddly could have saw like a really weird version of Joker if they say like the Batman movie started a little bit late, like 90, like when Batman Forever came out, that was when they started, and you got the.
Now I'm just imagining fucking like
talking Joker.
Now imagining all like the takes they didn't use, and like Sonic the Hedgehog was like Jim Carrey at some point like flip up the back of his trench coat and do the ass thing at like the little like tennis ball that's supposed to be like Sonic that's gonna get CG'd in, like, well, let me tell you, little hedgehog.
Hey, how old is Jim Carrey? He's still doing this? Yeah, that's his stick, you know. It never went away. But
He's tried it on every movie, even number 23. He did it at some point.
at some point there's a scene in every one.
Yeah, every movie. The Man on the Moon movie. He did it. He did it in the Majestic. Every movie there's a take of it he did not use where he's trying to do the ass thing.
It's kind of like his calling card.
Yeah, they just they keep on telling him they're going to let him use it this time. They're going to let him use it, but no, they don't. It's
actually in his contract. He has to get one ass take in there.
That says that's what them using it though,
yeah. He they get figure that part out.
Closest they came to it was Kick-Ass 2.
Ass was in the title.
Yeah, he thought it was a surefire win.
Well, I like even going in the movie theaters and how Sonic's like, whoa, shove that fucking teaser trailer in there. No way is fucking Mario taking our goddamn thunder.
You got the Sonic teaser trailer in front of this?
It did, actually.
I'm surprised.
I thought was kind of ballsy,
the one where it's like a warp hole and it shows like the reflections of the characters in the emerald?
Yes, yeah, that one. That was the one that went through there. Because
I thought that was just an online thing. I didn't know that actually went to theaters.
I don't know. This is the first movie I've been into in cinemas in like almost 6 months. It's really fucking weird, Yeah. So I drove all the way out to Angels Camp, but I also kind of don't get me wrong. I love the Angels Camp movie theater. It's really cool. It's old school. It's classic. It's got these cool murals and everything like that. The clientele at Angels Camp movie theater can be kind of rambunctious, rowdy, hillbilly. I mean, literally, I kid you not. When the movie was done, I just heard beer bottles and beer cans just like crackling along and so on like that, and unruly children walking out and so on. I'm pretty sure the parents were drinking, not the children, but it could have been both. I'm not too sure.
I'm not gonna lie. I mean, here I don't have to sneak it in because they said it's like they say in like Pulp Fiction, like, oh, I'm talking about a glass of beer. You could get a beer like at the movie. So, but no, I get you. I guess there is that thing where
I don't think they have to sneak it in there. I just think that they don't want to pay full price. They don't got Pabst Blue Ribbon or something there. One of those things. There's no like Keystone
they don't
Light.
Pay full price for Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Sir, what's that duffel bag for? Don't worry, I need this. It's my security bag.
Yeah. No, it's I had a pretty good experience seeing it. I'm sorry for you. I guess your other experiences of Angels Camp can be. That was a different theater. Did you see?
No.
Because the fight in Pizza Boys was that.
That was based off the Angels Camp. I've had like quite a bit of like funky run-ins there. I've also had like a lot of. I mean, I'll say this. Probably the majority of showings have been fine, but there's been just enough of them there where you're just like, I'll give Mario a little bit more of a pass. It is on a holiday. It is on spring break. There's, they're going to let anybody and everybody in. But yeah, it was one of those ones where it's just like, oh, here we go. Let's go for it. I just kind of said, fuck it. Like, I don't go to the movie theaters that often anymore because obviously there is no movie theater anywhere close. So I was just like, just ride it out.
Cue the sad Mass Effect song,
Yeah. Exactly, but at least I got my peach drink here.
Oh, that's cool. You know what? I thought it's like sparkling water.
Yeah, they made the bubbly ones have like a tie-in. I'm like, fuck it, give me those. I'll take any kind of cool tie-in. I got the weird like Old Spice whatever Mario tie-in. So I got the Yoshi deodorant and like the Mario soap, which when you wash yourself with the Mario soap, it's red, the bar is, but it literally looks like you're cleaning wounds with it because when you look at the water running down, it just has this blood red color.
The Working Man soap.
Yeah, after a hard day's of work and you got all kinds of lacerations, you need one bar that's gonna keep you back in business. Mario's Working Man soap. Ain't for fucking pussies.
I'm just imagining like a shirtless Bob Hoskins, like in like a moist bathroom, like holding it, saying this shit.
Moist.
Moist like me.
Moist like your butthole will be once it's cleaned.
He says he's holding up the bar of soap, has a couple of hairs on it.
That's what the extra grip is good for on the bar. It gets in there, gets in the nooks and crannies, all that stuff that needs that extra work. Well, you've been out all day long, and not only are you fixing someone's fucking shit-covered toilet, but then your ass has got the swamp ass building up too because they can't afford fucking air conditioning, and it's 110 degrees in Brooklyn. You need the Old Spice bar of soap.
Keep that man pussy clean.
Exactly. That's what will keep him out of the back there.
Bob again.
Nah, I think that was pretty good.
What you mean? I thought I was in character. I was in character. What do you mean?
Always in character. I was doing it just the way a Brooklynite would do it.
No, like I lucked out because my screening was actually spring break hasn't happened here yet. And I went to like a 9 o'clock showing. So there were people there, but everyone that was there was
9 o'clock in the morning or night?
At night. 9 o'clock at night.
I was gonna say like boy, I haven't seen a 9 o'clock in the morning showing in a long time. I missed those from way back in the day.
Yeah, I missed those too. But like a 9 o'clock in the night showing on a Wednesday. So there was a couple of kids there, but weren't there that many, and the ones who were there were quiet. I almost bought, and I'm not really I'm going to buy all the popcorn buckets. I almost bought the Yoshi popcorn bucket. Because I thought I looked at that thing like I guarantee I think it'd be like $60 or $50. Then I looked at like only 30 euros. That's not fucking bad. But then it is pretty fucking big, and it's like it's hefty. But like if it gets dropped, it's gonna break. And I got a kid that like he's a year and like 10 months, and Mario is the only movie he'll sit for. Other movies, he'll sit there for like 20 minutes. We watch him like in 20-minute chunks. Mario is the only movie he could sit through.
It's Mario and the Deer Hunter, the only two things that resonate with this child.
Mario, Deer Hunter, and Born on 4th of July. Yeah. No, he especially likes the wheelchair fight. No,
he thinks that's the best. Tom Cruise is the only guy that has 2 wheelchair fights in his entire career, but still.
What's the second? I forgot.
And fucking Days of Thunder. I guess it's not really a fight. It's more of a race. But him and Michael Rooker are literally like racing in wheelchairs at one point out of the hospital and pushing each other. So I'm considering it a fight.
I really do think that like,
Tom Cruise has studied wheelchair fighting more than any other actor.
I guarantee he will. Yeah. So like
you thought Mission Impossible was over. No way. Tom Cruise is resurrecting the wheelchair.
Well, the thing is, he's just like how much he does his own stunts and how much he like dives into each character. So the second he found out there's going to be a wheelchair fight, one of his movies, he went into like the dark, seedy underbelly of the Chicago like underground wheelchair fight scene and try to like learn from like he even went like in character because they can't know it's something he did for Collateral. Like when they did Collateral, he dressed as a UPS officer and did like a little test around neighborhood to see if people could recognize it was him. They couldn't recognize him, so I could see him doing the same thing for wheelchair fighting, So I actually think Born on 4th of July should have been called Wheelchair Fight. I think it should have just been like the poster should have just been like this, like him and William Dafoe about to clash.
Eye to eye. Looks like the Freddy versus Jason cover.
Yeah, and then like you watch it, you're like, God, there's a lot of Vietnam in this movie about wheelchair fighting. How are we gonna get there?
And it should be like fucking in They Live, where the wheelchair fight's like 15 minutes long, like a slobber knocker. And just when you think it's over, they get back up again, get back in the chairs, and start hitting each other. Put the fucking glasses on. Put the glasses on. It will show you the real Vietnam.
He finally kills Willem Dafoe like basically the same way like Kurt Russell killed the one like brunette girl in Death Proof. Like the wheel goes over her face, like
he does like a backflip in slow motion. the wheel just like zoom, 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 just spinning on his face.
Want to see Tom Cruise beat the fuck out of Jesus in a wheelchair? Jesus in a wheelchair? Okay. So.
He came back, but he didn't need his legs this time. He's like, yeah, the fucking, you guys should have watched where you put those fucking nails in my knees, you fucking ass. I need those to come back. I mean, I can come back, but my legs aren't coming back. The hands will heal, but not the fucking knees.
Really fucking hurts, you assholes.
Yeah.
No, like going back to that. So long way of saying I did not
No
get the
wheelchair fight in
Yoshi-
Mario Galaxy, but
Exactly. Yeah, the new power up. No,
it's for the handicapped kids. You know, it's so they could get that Xbox adaptive controller too.
I can't really get like this $30 thing that I know my kid at some point is going to want to hold, and I'm like, I'm sorry, that's dad's. We just kind of look at it and it just sits on the shelf. There's setting boundaries, but at the same time, I feel like
Don't touch the popcorn either. That popcorn's sacred. We're gonna sell that on eBay in 90 years.
Yeah, exactly. So I didn't get it. I was considering it. It was like the last one on the shelf there. They probably got more for the next showing the next night. And then there's like, I was like, am I going to get this thing? And then I saw there's a kid behind me that was looking. He wasn't looking at me, but there's a kid behind me looking at the like rack of where they were at, looking all disappointed. I'm like,
yeah, but then I bought it. When I saw his fucking face and thought he was going to get it, I wanted to make sure he learned what life was like right then and there.
I just looked over, smiled as I was scanning my credit card, just like, no, don't fill it up. I just want to have it. I don't even need to use it for popcorn. I just want it. I just look over the child, like, see you in the movie, Hans. So.
So what was that Yoshi popcorn bucket that you had there? Because the one I saw, there was a tin that they had that was still pretty cool, but it was a Mario Galaxy, just like regular popcorn bucket with a tin, and it just had all the characters circling around it.
You wouldn't know it was a popcorn bucket unless you were just sitting, because I knew what it was because it was at a movie theater, and like a bunch of people, even like adults, were walking out with them. It's basically, it just looks like a little like statue of Yoshi with an egg sitting in front of him. He's like just sitting down with an egg in front of him, and you could pop the egg open, and he fills up with popcorn.
Oh, that's kind of badass. For only 30 euros, that still is pretty sweet. That's it's like the popcorn tin. It was really cool, but I'm like, I hate to sort of say, it's like, where are you going to put that at? You know, my Sonic the Hedgehog one's kind of sitting in a cupboard because I don't know where to put that one at. This looks like something that could go on a shelf. Like when I eventually one day when I get my real background, something that could go back there, or just on a figure shelf or something like that. Like there's something. It was pretty sweet.
At the moment, there's like nowhere to put it, and I just didn't want to like basically tempt my son with it. And then I know my wife doesn't want it staring at us from across the room in our room. So anyway.
Yeah, you don't want him to do the thing that poor Wes of Via VHS. His kid went to climb up his VHS shelf to grab a toy off the thing, and the entire thing came down.
Oh no, is the kid okay?
The kid was fine, but destroyed the shelf.
Oh man. Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Well, that sucks right there. And yeah, I might have to keep that in mind for the future. So I don't have any toys out right now or any figures, but yeah, in the future, the time will tell, because it's just something. These are daddy's toys. They just sit on a shelf though, and you got to look at them. That's what you do, But he's not,
you got to teach him how you actually play with toys. You don't actually touch them. You sit back and you observe them.
You admire.
Take them in. Yeah, you admire them, And
breathe it in, son. Breathe it in. Yeah.
No, don't touch. Don't touch. You can look, but you can't touch.
The bad guy from Toy Story 2, Newman, he wasn't wrong. He was right, So Woody should have stayed in the glass case. I agree with Stinky Pete.
Yeah, exactly. How is he going to have a retirement in the future?
Exactly. So going to the movie itself, I guess we should say. Actually, just leading into this, let me just say this real quick. Let me say before we lead it. So Mario 1, when we both saw that 2 years ago, whatever it was, when I walked out of the theater, I liked it, but I wasn't like the thing is like, I liked it, and I knew that if this movie came out when I was a kid, I would love it. It's kind of like the movie Ryan in kindergarten, or Ryan in like third grade, around that area, would have wanted. I say kindergarten because that's right when I first got into Mario, and then third grade because that's when 64 came out. So, this is I know the movie. That's the movie I would have wanted. And then I was like, that was a little simple. They kind of wasted some moments that could have been actual like character development or whatever. But since that's the only movie my kid watches that could sit all the way through, Mario, aside from some Dutch cartoon shit, is his favorite thing. Basically, I've seen that movie at least 4 times a week for the last 2 months.
It's that era when you're a kid and you can watch the same thing over and over and over again, Really, it's the best time period of money saving when you think about it. Because like nowadays, I feel like I would have a hard time watching the same movie like twice in like the same week, but let alone the same year.
Exactly. So the thing with that movie is, I never feel the need to watch it ever again. I don't hate it. I don't have I'm like I brought it upon myself because he was really sick one day, and we needed to keep a close eye on him. But I wanted to keep him, just give him something to watch. So I bought it on Amazon. We watched it, and he really, ever since then, he's loved this movie. So so now it's this thing that I've seen it so many times. There's so many things that I've not.
You could do the one-man play of it.
I could do a one-man play. I really could do a one-man play. I could like down to like the musical cues to like certain like little like mannerisms, kind of like the way like, no, I know my way around the kitchen. Like, we have a T-Rex. Just a certain emphasis, the way they emphasize just like lines that you wouldn't even really think anything of, So like I can do that with this movie. So I went from being kind of like, yeah, I like it. It's not a perfect movie, but it's fun. I like it. It kind of hit the nostalgia buttons, and it was good enough, to being kind of like, no, I like this movie. It's not like perfect. There still are wasted like moments, but I do like this movie. I actually think I don't feel the need to watch it anytime soon, because I'm going to probably watch it within 3 times next week, probably, or some part of it at least. That said, going to see the second one, I kind of like, I liked it, and it was an enjoyable movie, but I feel kind of a little empty by it, because it did just sort of seem kind of like nostalgia, and there's barely kind of I don't want to sound like every critic, because there's critics who make it sound way worse than what it is, but it felt like not nostalgia overload, but like nostalgia first and foremost, real character and story when we get to it.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there too, because I've only seen the first one when I saw it in cinemas, and strangely enough, I just never had the hankering to really sit down and watch it again. Not saying I wouldn't watch it again, but like it wasn't like Sonic the Hedgehog, which is weird because Sonic the Hedgehog is not perfect, but for some reason I like those Sonic movies a lot more than I like the Mario ones, and I like them, but I'm kind of like just like lukewarm with them. I think I'm going to say this. I think it's the Illumination thing. I think that kind of takes me out of it. I've never been a big fan of that animation company. Now, granted, I'll say the Mario movies are the things they've done the best out of everything. Like, don't get me wrong, they definitely have done them a lot better than what I thought was going to happen, but they do always have some kind of just weird humor and things of that nature that almost kind of still leans into that Minion kind of vibe. And I only know Minions from trailers, but I've seen way too many trailers of them, and I never want to be next to a Minion ever. I get angry when I go to Universal Studios and there's that giant fucking Minion there. Just want to like tear that shit down. Be like, where's the man with the stilts and the chainsaw? Come here and bring this down now.
Where's Megatron? Get Megatron over here.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, oh no, I get that Universal check every day. I can't do that. I'm a company man now.
Blue, get Blue over here.
Get Marty McFly. He's fucking pissed because he got his ride pulled away from him. He's not getting any residuals. But and it's weird because like I was thinking about it when I was watching it. I'm like, I mean, I wish this was just made by Japanese people, like in a sense. I know that like Universal's got way more money and way more like, budget for that. But I do almost kind of wish it was just the Japanese Mario movie and just like there, because it's still good, but it still has that slight filter of the Illumination over the top that kind of just, I feel like it just dilutes it a little bit, just enough. I said it's enjoyable, but like I almost feel like I want to like it more. And even with all that kind of stuff in there, I don't know. I even thought when I was watching the second one halfway through, I'm like, if I watch these movies again, I think I'm going to see if I can find the Japanese dub and watch it with subtitles, because I think I might actually enjoy it a little bit more if that was the case. I think it's that weird thing too that
I'm so much of an otaku, I don't even watch American movies in English anymore.
We're like Sean Connery in Rising Sun. This is the only way to watch American movies in Japanese.
I watch the Japanese dubs. That's what I watch.
Yeah, it'll be like that. It'll be like when I've watched so many like martial arts movies in a row, and then I go to Amazon and I play an American movie. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, we don't have the Chinese dub for you. You're like, I'm watching Fast and the Furious. But Because I think it's that thing. It's just like I think of like what the characters sound like in all the video games and everything like that. And this one, it's an interpretation, and you just kind of hear the actors themselves. Not saying they don't; they all do a fine enough job, but it weirdly takes me out of it. I feel like, not like 100% where I'm sitting there, arms crossed, pissed. You know what I mean? Like, but like just that kind of, it's like, I just feel like it should be a little bit better.
I haven't seen that many Illumination movies. All the ones I have seen have not impressed me. The only ones I've really liked were, like, not to sound biased, but like Mario.
I'm kind of with you there. The Addams Family one wasn't shabby, but it still had a lot of that Illumination stuff in there that, once again, I felt like if you just pull that out, and I get it, probably if you're a big Illumination fan, you love all that weird, goofy shit, and those side characters doing the weird eyes or doing the goofy dance or some fucking bullshit like that. It's like, that's not in fucking Mario.
Well,
you're watching Addams Family. Well, that's not fucking Mario either.
Well, here's the thing about, I'll say this, because I feel like I honestly feel like this Ryan can defend the first Mario movie from like Ryan, who walked into the theater like 2 or 3 years ago. And like, don't get me wrong, that movie does kind of waste some moments.
Ryan's fucking Looper moment is 2 Mario movie discussions.
Yeah. With like, I just want to talk. And I just put like the blunderbuss thing down. I just want to talk. No, but like,
Bruce Willis's last role was he was playing Ryan in the future version.
I'm going to tell you something. You actually like the first Mario movie way more than you thought you would. Like, what? No.
I turn into Bruce Willis when I get older. Everybody does.
Nice. Yeah. Until everyone's Bruce Willis, walking around Bruce Willis. You don't even know if you're you anymore. Everyone's just Bruce Willis. You can't tell who's who anymore. Like, oh, future sounds fucked. It is. But luckily there's Mario 8. Like, oh, cool. So is it better? No, it's actually the worst one. Oh fuck. Okay. No, so here's the thing. I feel like the first one, because it's
an Animal Crossing movie. That's why it's not that good.
That's the crossover in that one. Yeah. Animal Crossing and Excite Bikes. They ran out of shit to do by then. I think they would have done.
You think the Excite Bike part's going to be good, but it's short lived. It runs out of steam pretty quick.
Oh well, they should have used something like Wave Runners. They already did that. They did that at like a Wave Race. They did that in part 6.
Yeah. No, in this one, Tom Nook has his way with fucking Luigi at one point because he didn't pay his rent on time.
Who has his way with Luigi?
Oh, Tom Nook.
Oh, Tom Nook. That's
he fucking owns this place, And Luigi gets in the debt because he can't afford to pay the fucking, taxes on his fucking mansion that he inherited.
You see, I would see that movie. Now, there are things there are things about number 1 that I actually do like. There are like wasted opportunities, but seeing it, maybe it's just I Clockwork Orange myself into watching it so many times that now I'm just forcing myself to like it. But the thing is like there is like small little micro performances they animate on the characters, like jumping into like certain scenes, like just small things, like when they're doing like the carts through but not the kart race or the battle, but just getting through like Donkey Kong's like Kong City, and there's a part where like there's a swerving and driving around, like Mario almost falls out and like Peach grabs him by the cheek and then like pulls him back. The next scene, like he just kind of lightly rubbing his cheek like for a second, and then so there's like a bunch of that sounds like kind of whatever, but so many small things like that throughout the whole movie. Like small little details, like a scene where like Mario and Donkey Kong are like talking shit to each other, and next scene they're kind of walking in. They're not even the focus, but they're just kind of in like more the background. You just see each other kind of like shoot each other, kind of like a fuck you glance at each other before they kind of look back to the battle plan. So there's kind of like a lot of small stuff like that. And even going to the whole part where when I first saw it, I just thought it was kind of like stupid Illumination, wacky hijinks bullshit, which if that movie does have a bullshit Illumination hijinks moment, it's the whole scene when they're at the plumbing job in the rich people's penthouse and the dog attacks them.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
But even that scene, there's like, I didn't notice it the first time. There's like a bunch of things in that scene foreshadowing like all these other things that happen throughout the movie. like the fight with Bowser, the fight with Mario avoiding the bullet bill. Now it's not like anything that's like so like, oh my god, it totally changes everything. But it's just like, oh, because the whole point of that movie, which I kind of knew deep, I kind of knew it was some version of this, but seeing it again, I think it kind of it gets it across a little better a few times around. It's kind of like it's not as good as this, but it's kind of like Superman, because the whole thing with Superman is it's like everyone like they're questioning if Superman did the right thing. And at the end of the movie, like, yeah, you did do the right thing. It's you leading by example. His whole arc was more his parents and his family, but on this stuff about um, fake Israel attacking fake Palestine or Ukraine, Russia, whichever version you want,
Yeah.
he was right. That's ultimately what the movie was about. He was right. So, and it's everyone else following example. The Mario movie, it's kind of the same thing. It's him like getting his shit knocked down, people telling him he's weak, he can't do it, and he keeps getting his ass kicked, but then leading by example. And by leading by example, he gets the backup he needs, and then he eventually finally wins. And I just appreciate that. I think that was a little more than what people were giving it credit for.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is I will say there is definitely some good stuff in the Illumination. Like I think they are good at animating and all that stuff, and they can add those real little details and real fine points and everything like that.
I'm still here.
You know, it's just when a lot of times I think of it is there's just some kind of stuff that feels kind of uncanny. I guess that's the biggest thing that I kind of notice when I watch. And I know that I look at it this way. I'm like, it's not exactly my Mario. It's Mario made for another generation. It's kind of like when you watch other Ninja Turtles movies, you got to kind of go, this wasn't really made for you. This was made for somebody else, you know, of age 10. You know, so you can't be that guy in there like fucking late 30s, be like, let me tell you how Mario goes, kids. Just stand up fucking pointing at them at the top of the screen. Sir, sit down.
You see, you say that, but I feel
give
like
up
this
the
one,
Yoshi popcorn. Say never, never. That was that little boy. It's mine. It's mine. Where was the 91? Where?
he's turning into Rock. So he's turning like Sylvester Stallone at the end of fucking like Rambo.
I was there. I was there in Sega versus Nintendo. You had to make a decision. You didn't get the solid trailer before the Mario one. It's like, Jesus, he's going up again.
So,
but what about me? I was into Atari Jaguar. They have a place for us.
Sure, they made the Terminator games for a little bit on GameCube, but then they left us.
Oh, I had my Atari Lynx in school, and I got bullied. You know, that's probably worth more than the Game Boy nowadays. Fuck you, I don't have it anymore.
So going off what you said earlier, I actually feel like this movie so badly, you say not for us, I feel like this movie so badly wants to be for us, as well as the kid who just learned what Mario was like a year ago. I feel like this movie, because there's so many references that only we would get or our generation would get, as well as like, but still so many of the newer games. And the thing is like, I'm not gonna lie, the whole time in this movie, I was the second one, I was watching it and I was enjoying it. Like I was liking it the whole time, but then walking out of the theater, I just felt like, well, this was all kind of just kind of scenario, kind of nodding and winking to fans. Like Meat Canyon had like a bit on the first Mario movie where even though I don't entirely agree with it, I think it was a pretty funny video where it's a bunch of people like in the theater where it's just like it's almost like this borderline like it's like basically like some weird fetish porn where like Luigi's in a diaper. She's like, oh Mario, my diaper's so stinky. Oh, and like Mario's about to change him, and then like a guy, it's a POV, like a guy's hands coming up and he's texting like this movie sucks. And then Mario comes out of the screen. He's just like, what the fuck's wrong with you? And he's basically just like saying, you're going to like this movie because it's everything you fucking want. There's all the people like other like video game fanboys in the background be like, oh my God, it's Mario. Oh my God, dude. Oh, haven't been this happy since I was 7. Oh, like, just all on the verge of like coming, and like I was like, this is really funny. I don't entirely agree with it. I get the joke, I get what it's meaning though, and I get where it's coming from. Where this one, I'm like, this one I kind of get it. This one, I think this is more fitting for this particular movie because it is just like this level, this power up, that power up. A little bit of a story. We're going to dive into Bowser for a second, make that kind of interesting, and then on to the next thing.
And I do agree with you because there is a lot of stuff in here that is geared towards the old school fans. So I feel like it's like a mixed match because you have a lot of stuff in there that's like all the Mario stuff you want and you like seeing, and it's very cool and it is super accurate. And even just the way when they run through, areas, it's like they make them look like levels. They're jumping off platforms, going down pipes and all kinds of stuff like that. And then there's like, it's like they feel like they got to fuse. Like the second one almost felt like they had to fuse even a little bit more illumination stuff. And they're like, well, the first one, we wanted to try to make it, we didn't want to fuck this up for Nintendo. But this time it's like, well, now that we're making money for Nintendo, we'll put the little fucking minion robots in there at the airport. You're like, oh, get that fucking shit out of there. Rob, clean this up.
Well, that was barely there. I'm not going to sweat it for like a robot that was there for like 2 scenes.
Well, it didn't talk, like so it's not so bad.
Yeah.
When I saw it, I was like, where is this going? Where is this going?
It's that like
the third movie that's going to be a main character. I just fucking know it.
That robot thing was there for maybe like 50 seconds out of that whole movie. But like
it was 50 seconds of fear.
Yeah, well, you gotta face your fears down, so you just gotta look that minion down like, you will not control me, you will not fear, but like at the same time, it's like the thing is, I feel like this one and the previous, all feel like they're trying as hard as possible to be like accurate to the games. There's might be like some minor changes, like they changed up Cranky Kong from being just like a generic old guy to who sounds like he's like an old Jewish New Yorker who hangs out in a bathrobe all day. And I think that's fine because I like Fred Armisen. So I thought him playing a Fred Armisen-esque character was fine because I'll be honest, maybe I'm a little biased here. I have no real like admiration for Cranky Kong, really. So, but at the same time though, like, I mean, Seth, the only one that really stood out to me, only voice actor, like, okay, that's Seth Rogen. That was the only one that really stood out. And Mario being voiced by Chris Pratt, after a while, he just sounds like a guy to me. He doesn't sound like Chris Pratt. Just sounds like any guy. And the thing is, like I actually prefer Mario to have that kind of voice if it's going to be a movie, just because, like, I don't know, we grew up, like, even though it wasn't good, we grew up on the 90s cartoon as well as the Bob Hoskins film. And to me, Mario has always been more of a let me tell you what kind of guy,
Yeah, exactly. Well, and also it's like Chris Pratt's not too bad doing it, and so on. Like at least he puts on an accent and so on like that. Doesn't get lazy about it or anything.
Sounds like an Italian American. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Like so. It's like once again, I don't think any of the people really do anything bad. It's not like they do them really bad. It's just sometimes there's just enough like actorness to it that it kind of it's weird. It just feels like it's almost when you're playing a video game and then like you had this voice actor for, like, for example, like Metal Gear Solid, and Metal Gear Solid 5 comes out and it's fucking not David Hayter anymore, and you're like, and once again, I love fucking Kiefer Sutherland, but like I just feel like, well, do I want him playing Snake? It's kind of one of those things. I think that's kind of how I feel. As I said, it's not bad, but it's just kind of noticeable, I guess. As I said, like I literally kid you not, I'm going to seek out the Japanese version if I watch whenever I watch these movies again, because I think that might, for me, add to it. If not, I'm watching the fucking Chinese version.
Well, my thing is, it's more of kind of like they don't really.
Chow Yun-fat plays Mario.
They don't really take anything away from me because there's really nothing there to take away from the beginning, because as far as more modern, recent Mario games go, they just kind of all say catchphrases and weird noises. Like, oh, no, no. So like whenever you see like an opening cutscene where like of a 2D Mario game where it's the entire cast talking over each other in like Banjo-Kazooie-esque, like what about that? Yeah, it's like I'm not losing nothing by Charlie Day, Keegan Michael Key. I'm not losing. The guy who directed Smash Machine. Okay. Like,
well, what if that's what the voices were, and like Charlie Day just comes in, just goes,
Oh,
Like you paid him all this money to fucking do that?
That's more or less what they paid Donald Glover to do. Donald Glover was voicing Yoshi, easiest fucking job in the world. Like the amount of money that went to like to like, I mean, going wrong, he's a good actor, but like you could have gotten like, you need to hire an actor, like not a
voice actor
to voice Yoshi. You could have a voice actor to voice Yoshi. You didn't need Donald Glover. But
I felt like that was that thing. It was like the hiring of Vin Diesel for Groot, where you kind of, I bet you, I hate to sort of say it, those are those ones that you know that every voice actor sees that shit and goes, look at that, there was a fucking character up in there for us. And no, they get the fucking expensive ass, name brand actor to fucking slap on there just so they can look like they have a bigger roster when they could have just hired us and we would have done the exact same thing for way less of the price because that's what we do every fucking day.
That's, you got to give it to Colleen O'Shaughnessy.
Yeah, or Frank Welker.
Voicing Tails still in the Mario movies. That's
movies. I think once again, I think that's one of those extra things that adds to the Sonic movie is that makes it sound like a lot more like, oh, we're in the game. Like I almost kind of wish they just did that with all the characters in Sonic and just had them like just grab the fucking guys from the game. Like that will like work perfect. But there's always a weird, I don't know what it is, always that movie bias of like, voice actors, you guys are down here and in a closet and pushed up to Burbank, somewhere where we don't have to see you, hear you, or smell you. You're not a real actor. A real actor needs to be seen. This is a fucking animated movie. Yes, but they will be seen. Oh, believe me, they will.
On the press junkets.
yeah. We're going to put your fucking ugly bald ass head up in there? No. You belong in a closet. It's safe for you there.
This is their contract negotiation.
Yeah.
No, like it's one of those things where I guess I don't always like the phrase like, well, it is what it is, so why bother changing it? But this is one of those cases where I wouldn't mind a movie just hiring voice actors for this kind of thing. But the fact they don't, I'm not surprised. And the ones they pick, I think are generally pretty good. I think the one like out of left field choice was getting Ben Shafty, the guy who's mainly I'm assuming he's acted in other stuff before, but maybe he was a comedian at some point, but he's like a director mostly. So that's why I was like, you got him to voice Bowser Jr. Okay, I mean, maybe if he went around the park, maybe he's like known in the Hollywood scene, like, oh, he's got a good Jack Black impersonation. Like, hey, we got an idea for you. I don't know, but that was like the one kind of like artsy kind of choice for the movie. I thought,
Yeah, I thought that was kind of a strange one too, because I literally had to look up who the hell that was. I was like, oh, okay, now I know who that is. And once again, as I said, like, it's not that anybody does a bad job. I feel like it all still works. It's just, it just throws me off just a fraction. It's kind of like when I play fucking Final Fantasy VII, like the remake. I don't fucking have any of the voices on because I don't like them. They throw me off. That's not how I pictured it when I played the 7 back in the day.
What'd you think of we'll just say going in here, like spoilers ahead, spoilers, but even though this is advertised week before the movie, which I don't know why you would do that.
Yeah, I don't know why they screwed the pooch on that one. That was fucking stupid, but
what'd you think of Here Comes Fox McCloud?
I thought that was still pretty cool that Fox actually got a cameo in there.
Actually, and it's a full role, more than a cameo. He was like,
yeah, that's true. It actually, it was like a full on like side role, and they have Glenn Powell, I think, was played him and whatnot. Yeah. And that guy's been pretty good. He's in The Running Man and everything like that. I've liked him. He's in that Twisters movie. He's been pretty solid. So I felt like he kind of fit. Sometimes, like, once again, this is not him, but like sometimes I think they just have some of that Illumination dialogue that feels a little bit out of place. I think that's the other thing is once again, it's like some of the dialogue that Illumination always has. They always try to have like the what's up hip of the moment. We want to be, cool and all that kind of stuff. You're just like, how about you just be what it is, But, and I think that's sort of it. There's just that overlay. Because the part where like Fox is like sick, and it's just like, I feel like that's something Fox McCloud would say, but I get it. Like it's a 90s slogan, but
I actually, well, something I liked about that, because the second I heard Fox McCloud was going to be in it, I was like, okay, they're going to make him and like, because they're going to make him and Mario compete for Princess Peach or something like that. She's going to be wowed by him, and they're going to be measuring dicks. And but then
you know how Peach goes. She always goes after that bestiality stuff.
She's into. I mean, she's tempting the turtle. But anyway,
she was raised by a whole bunch of dicks. Let's be honest.
She can't help it. It was how she was brought up. But at the same time, though, the thing with Fox, though, when he comes in, and then hey Mario, I thought this was kind of like a good thing for like just Mario's character for what they show, because something they've showed in the first one, and as well as the second one I haven't seen 500 times, but the first one.
You will.
I probably will. And I'm not sure if I'll like it as much as I like the first one. But something to get across in the first one.
It's gonna be your Greek tragedy.
It might. I just like just Oedipus my eyes. Like the.
Where's that fucking crow? Eat my heart out.
Yeah. No. Something to get across with Mario is he's a friendly guy who wants to get along with everybody, but the second they step on him or his brother, he's not going to back down. And they get that across because he constantly is kind of like being hot, like waving or trying to be nice to everybody in that movie, just whether it be like him saying hello to whoever he meets or him just kind of waving or him even just trying to like just be civil with everybody. So the second he sees Fox and they have this kind of stare down for a second, he's like, nice ride, like, oh, nice mustache. Like, cool. Like, I thought that was just like a nice little, like, okay, cool. You went against my expectations for once.
Yeah, exactly. Because you didn't know I didn't really know what was going to be like what was going to happen when the Star Fox shows up and whatnot like that. But it is kind of cool that he's there. He's just like, oh yeah, I kind of crashed, which I will say, actually, my favorite part of the movie is when Fox explains himself and they have that badass 2D animation of fucking Star Fox. I was like, shit, can we have more of this, less of everything else?
Let me ask you this, okay? I'm not sure if you remember, but there's the part when they actually get a ride from Fox and you see his control console for a second. And one of the joysticks has the button layout of a Super Nintendo controller, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your version, I'm curious, was it like different shades of purple or was it red, blue, green, and yellow?
So what that one is, the purple's the American one. America.
I know. That's what I was going to ask because
movie-wise.
Movie-wise.
I remember the Super Nintendo controller. I'm not too sure if I can remember the colors on it though.
Because here it was the European colors. So
yeah, which is also the Japanese colors.
So I was curious if maybe it was also if you saw it in America, if it was the purple maybe. Because sometimes they have regional differences and that kind of thing.
Yeah. If I had to guess, they probably went hard on the other one just because that covers everything else but the US. For some reason they're like, it's 90s. US likes purple. Barney's in style. I don't know. Throw that shit in there. Everywhere else we get the color scheme. You know what's the other weird? This is the other small differences that's kind of strange. Is okay on the American Super Nintendo controller. So B and A have like rounded buttons, but Y and X have little cup buttons.
Indented. Yeah.
They don't have that on the European and Japanese ones though. They're all rounded. Weird. Yeah, I always thought that's the part that throws me off on that controller more than anything else. It's just like, oh, they don't have the cut buttons for Y and X.
Yeah. Well,
but I'll have to pay attention to that when I watch it again, or whatever. But because now I'm curious about that. So there's so much stuff going by that like I saw the Super Nintendo controller for a split second, but I can't remember what the color was.
I do think the movie kind of has like it's one of those movies where I don't want to just recap it because you just be talking about, did they go here? Did they do this? Did they do that? Did they do this? And like, does some character development stuff happen? Some in some moments, but not that much, So it is really just kind of like, it sounds like I liked it more than you, but even I'm just kind of like, I liked it, but I wasn't like, blown away. It was just, it's not the illuminationness of it. It's just like, because I barely saw any illuminationness to it. I think the first one actually almost more has illumination with the music cues, where this one had like it played
one music cue, I think.
Notorious B.I.G. like in one scene, and beyond that, it was like all Mario music.
Yeah,
I think they may have had like a like a remix of like a Sam Cooke or Sam Cooke, or maybe like a James Brown song in the background, maybe somewhere. But beyond that, like it was all Mario music basically.
Yeah, I will say I think that's kind of a bonus of the second one. I'm kind of glad they pulled those music cues out because I know that that's always an Illumination thing. I know, remember like the Addams Family one too. They had to just throw pop music in there, and I get it. Fucking that stuff works on normies. They get all excited when it is there. For me, I'm always that one that like it takes me out of it. Like that's not in there, It's like one of those ones like that. So just put the video game music. It's better anyways. Like that's what we need, Like it fits for it, So I'm kind of glad this one sort of toned that down. And yeah, it's one of those ones where I guess if you want to sum up the plot, because that was the thing too. I got I felt like just not enough happened. It's just literally Rosalina's up in space or whatnot. She's got her fucking star buddies and whatnot there, and she's raising this like child, like 100. She has her like 100 children that she's fucking raising that never grow up and whatnot. And then all of a sudden, Bowser Jr. shows up out of the sky and fucking absorbs her because she's the battery for a giant death ray cannon.
Star Wars, basically.
Yeah, it's like it's powered by a woman, powered by pussy is what it does. It's like, geez, Bowser Jr. He's like, Dad would approve.
It's powered by maternity and love.
So it's like, Bowser Jr. is just trying to impress his father, by building this giant, pretty much, empire, like fucking Star Wars style and so on like that. They can blow up the galaxy. He wants to blow up the galaxy. It's like, oh, son, what do we do when we blow it up? I didn't think that far, Dad. Mutually assured destruction.
I think he made a joke like that. Like we even thought that far ahead. Like, okay, keep going.
Yeah, and then the other one's like, it goes to like, so then Mario and Luigi and Princess Peach gets a memo that says, yo, this other princess is in trouble. You're the only one who can save her. And for some reason, I thought it was kind of weird. She just decides like, you know what? I'm not going to ask fucking Mario and Luigi. I'm just going to go off and grab Toad in his fucking hiking gear and just do it ourselves. So I thought that was just kind of a strange way to try to split the plot in the two different directions, where Princess Peach kind of goes on her own with Toad, and then Luigi and Mario go on their own, and they drag along like miniature fucking Bowser from the first one. And they're both literally getting to the same place, but they really have Mario and Luigi have no idea where they're fucking going. So it just kind of creates this stuff that happens so that they can finally get to the fucking space station where Star Fox is and go save Rosalina. And that's the movie. That's the fucking movie right there. Like I felt like at the end of the day, it's like it's an hour and a half movie that it feels like a 20-minute episode.
Well, it's one of those things where, yeah, you pretty much just summed up the movie, and they get kind of like wacky little like basically levels along the way. But sometimes levels really don't do anything to the plot. It's just more like a little side thing, like, well, wasn't that fun for 5 minutes? And like, oh yeah, that's kind of a callback to like Yoshi's Island and Yoshi's Story. Wasn't that fun? Like, yeah, it was fun. But I mean, I think something story related could have happened there,
Yeah, where they have the T-Rex from fucking
Odyssey.
A Mario Odyssey, but since it's a Universal movie, they can use the Jurassic Park sound effects.
Yeah, usually, yeah, I don't mind that part.
Yeah, I like that. I thought that was cool. I was like, yep, that's the best part of it being a Universal movie is that T-Rex can sound like a T-Rex.
But it's one of those things where like I don't mind them splitting up like that because whatchamacallit, because from what we know of Peach from the first movie, she already does this kind of thing.
That's true.
I think the first one didn't really give a lot of good examples of like a glaring error. The first one is still like the Toads don't fight, but they have all these weapons they collect, the power-ups and all this kind of shit, so it's just this thing of like,
the Toad's got a rule: don't get high on your own stash.
Yeah, that, or they just don't. The thing they just don't. The thing is like, other than like Captain Toad, I'm assuming that's supposed to be Captain Toad.
Yeah.
Other than him, they don't really like. I'm sorry, I'm going too much on the first one, but the thing is, that's a big glaring error of the first one. But aside from that, she kind of goes off and does her own adventure, and then Mario comes along for that. So this isn't too out of character for her, and she's like, you know what? She called me by name. She's asking me by name. Maybe this might be something to my past. I'm going to go look into it. Granted, we could have taken more than like one like minute of dialogue to get that across. We could have done that through like an actual scene where she says like, there's some other context clues like, wait, this might be from my past, or this might be from this. But like, someone has to stay and watch the kingdom, like Mario, Luigi, that kind of thing. So in that context, I get it. And then the thing with the being brought up, and like even the Bowser being conflicted about wanting to like kill Mario and Luigi as it goes on, because he's kind of grown to like them, sort of. Like, I like that in concept, but the thing about that is it's brought up and dismissed within 5 minutes. So
Yeah.
they kind of like, and that's the thing. It's an interesting point, but there should have been something. Like, I honestly think, like, I think I'm doing the easiest thing in the world to do, which is like armchair quarterback a movie after it's already made. So keep in mind, I'm not saying the movie's flawed because of this, but I think we just could have got there a little quicker and had time to do other things if we just didn't go to the honeybee world for just a second, just to not even have a fight or anything, when Bowser Jr. attacks the castle, maybe Mario or Luigi, they get separated for a second, and like we still have to save Bowser, so they're going to get Bowser, and then like Bowser sees like Mario or someone who last person you expect actually like get hit or hurt trying to save him, and he's actually surprised. But then in the chaos, Bowser slips out of his hand, and his dad gets him, or his son gets him, and then right there, Bowser's feeling a little conflicted about Mario actually just saved my life. And you know what I mean? So that's where you can kind of get that. And he's already kind of made friends with Luigi at this time. So that's kind of like how you can get there without them having to spend like 5 minutes on a honeybee planet to get brought in saying, well, we're going to get out of here. Like, okay, well, you can go. You have to go to the honeybee mine. Okay, you're going to the honeybee mine. Oh, no, you're not. Now you're being UFO'd out of here. So what was the point of all this? If we could have, like, you know what I mean? It just seemed kind of all
it's
like,
kind of a cluster.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing I thought too is when I saw that, okay, so, of course, Mario and Bowser are feuding the whole time, and Luigi's like, work it out. I almost thought that how this story, I mean, it has Bowser Jr. in it, so I knew he's going to get kind of fucked over, but it almost feels like, it almost started off like this Mario RPG kind of vibes where it's like, well, wouldn't it be kind of cool if I hate to say it, if you didn't have Bowser Jr., you just had some other asshole, another Mario villain up there that was making a death ray cannon with a princess inside and so on like that. And the only way it was kind of like, Mario and Bowser and Luigi all had to team up, and that was kind of how it went. And you could have had one of those things like at the very end, Bowser's like, fuck you, I'm out of here. I got my power back or something like that, But I thought that almost would have been kind of good because Bowser fucking turns on a fucking dime. It's like one of those ones like, he's like, oh, my son. He's like, I didn't think he loved me anymore. I thought I was a shitty father, And then he goes up there and he meets fucking his son and says like, oh, Dad, I fucking love you, man. Dude, the fact that you just dropped me off and just left me like, and just split. Like, dude, that's how a father should be. Look at me. I'm a fucking entrepreneur now. I built this fucking empire because I didn't have a father, but I wanted to, show you how much I loved you. And he builds this fucking giant empire. And then, like, the second he's like, Mario comes up, he's like, oh, that's my friends. Don't worry about it. They're cool. He's like, oh, yeah, Dad, watch this. I got to fucking shoot him with this cannon in their face. He's like, no, son. They're like, don't worry. And he shoots him and whatever, turns them into babies and just makes them fall to a planet. And there's a scene, though, that's hilarious where Bowser's sitting there on the fucking couch. And it looks like he just, like, went through, like, a 12-pack of beer staring at, like, the fucking sky. Like, contemplating life. Like, the boy wants me back in the life, but I just made fucking friends, and now they could be dead for all I know. They probably burned up in the atmosphere like Sonic the fucking Hedgehog.
And they were babies.
And they're babies. Is that fucked up?
There's a scene in like I haven't read the whole thing yet, but there's a scene in Volume 2 of Absolute Superman where Ra's al Ghul like basically takes a guy, an assassin who's sent to kill him, throws him into the Lazarus pit to the point where the guy's a baby, and he just takes the baby and just drops him to his death.
2 steps away from fucking drop kicking him like fucking Batman did in Absolute Batman.
Pretty much, yeah. Only he's given some given some kind of speech about like, I've never actually had a son. It could start with you, but you are simply not worthy. I don't take any joy in this, but that whatever. So, but like the thing is, even about that, like because then Bowser just gets swept up in it. Because his son kind of pulls him back to being what he is. He's like, shit, I was a bad father. Maybe I can. He's a little torn about the whole thing, which doesn't seem entirely out of character for Bowser, depending on the game you're playing. And then once he actually sees the crowd, he gets wrapped up into it. And he's like, I'm fucking back. And I don't mind that. But at the same time, I still think we should have had more time. And he even says, like, we had our moment, Mario, but this is the way it is. Within, like, taking away some of the, like, messy stuff of them just being here for 5 minutes. 5 minutes on a dinosaur planet where they're babies, and we just for them to not get out of the problem themselves, but for, like, Lumas to find out where they're at via radio and then get them there. You know, like that kind of thing. Like, so if that's how if all they had to do was get on the radio with the Lumas and get them there, then that 5 minutes of Yoshi chasing around with a dinosaur, that wasn't even needed then, you know? So it's kind of like, so it's like taking those kind of scenes out of there, you could have had probably time for like something where you would actually give Bowser to have a reason to get mad back at Mario, like while attacking, while going on their strike to stop Bowser Jr. Maybe they don't kill or hurt, maybe they hurt Bowser Jr. or do something in the process, and that makes Bowser snap back. You know what I mean? And there's even the part where Bowser Jr. like saw Bowser, well, he did die, but he's dry bones now. He's dry Bowser. When he dies, that scene actually was fucking real for a minute. The way how Bowser Jr. reacted, everyone's just like, holy shit, for like a minute. Like,
you just killed that guy's father. Yeah, and I would do it again if I had another choice.
I'm going to throw you in there next. You're lucky. Find me when you're grown up, when your fucking balls drop. Right now, you're just a little fucking prepubescent trust fund fuck.
With a stupid fucking paintbrush.
Yeah.
Go back to art school.
It's just basically Gangs of New York. You know? So Mario just ends up running that guy's corner, like Bowser Jr.'s corner of the like universe for a minute. He has like a bad eye at some point. Years later, he grows up, doesn't realize the giant turtle man is the fucking child turtle creature. I killed a good man. Last good man I ever killed was Bowser, and I did in front of his son. You know, just like...
Yeah, exactly. You know, and I think that's sort of it. It's just it's sort of lacking in just the story department, and that's where I feel like I'll say that where Sonic the Hedgehog movies kind of shine is that they actually have kind of legitimate stories going on in them. And so on like that. Yes, of course, they got their wackiness and goofiness and some side characters and all that kind of stuff. They aren't perfect movies, but they're still enjoyable from beginning to end and so on like that. And they just kind of got that there where once again, this feels like you have literally an episode's worth of fucking story, and then you have a bunch of extra scenes thrown in just to be kind of like, hey, like those kind of references, which don't get me wrong, I like a good reference and so on like that. I mean, I'll even say there is one reference in here that I like a lot. Well, it's not really a reference, but there's a part where when they're searching for where to go next, they find Wart and all his kind of minions, which is so cool because I know me and you have talked about so many times that like they never fucking use Wart, or a lot of those other characters from Mario 2 literally have not seen fucking screen time on anything since that game. And I know that probably because in Japan they're like, well, you know, let's be honest, that wasn't the real Mario 2. That was for pussy Americans who can't handle some kind of ninja guy. I didn't like you. Okay, well, calm down.
It's weird though because they kept the Shy Guys and they kept some of the other enemies from that.
You know, but I thought was kind of cool is like there was the little mouse character in there. There was the little bombs that like they're kind of like proto bombs, but like they look different in Mario 2.
The crab thing. Yeah,
the crab thing. So there was a handful of those other ones, and even Princess Peach, because she's the one that runs into him, right? Correct?
Peach and Toad, yeah.
Yeah, because I was getting confused which characters ran into who.
Well, they make
I even like because she fucking pulls up the turnips and all that kind of stuff and uses it. I mean, granted, she's used that in Smash Brothers and all that kind of stuff. But still, just the fact that there is actually a lot of these Mario 2 references, I think is kind of cool just because that is, in a weird way, maybe in America that game's a big deal. I don't know. I wonder what Mario 2 did Europe get?
I assume they got that one.
I'm assuming that too. I can't imagine, but whatever. So like, so that one kind of still has a lot there. I mean, even Peach, like Mario wants to give Peach a present and whatnot like that to show his love. So it's like, I bought her this parasol, which is like, oh, cool. So she's got that, so you got that kind of going on there. And I even like, there is stuff that I do like when Toad's there and when fucking Yoshi first appears, he sees that like, it's literally like, the fuck is this shit? Like this guy's, literally taking in my spot. What was Mario 2? It was Mario, Luigi, Peach, and me. And now it's fucking Yoshi. Like he just fucking crowds his fucking long dick in here.
It's like little, it's like, but when he gets a boner, it's
hits the Toad in the fucking eye. Like, oh.
This fucking cloaca or whatever. Yeah.
But I did like that little like stuff, and you could almost say that might be kind of illumination stuff, but I just think the fact that it is kind of true. Like you didn't see Toad in a fucking game as a playable character for a long time. It was like Yoshi came in there. I was like, fuck that guy.
No, I think that's because that was, I mean, I like that part of it just because it gave Toad something to do. Because the first one, he was the funny guy. He was the funny guy who was all amped up, and now they have a new sidekick. They got a new mascot character to be the funny guy. And he is a little like, the fuck? And I thought it was kind of funny how he was suddenly the straight man. Like, I appreciate like that, but that's not like enough for like to go off of for a movie, especially when most of the dialogue is expositional.
Yeah.
The thing with Yoshi is I appreciate how quickly they got to him there, but it was so quick of just like, he's here now. I mean, I feel like you could have even had him. He was just there. He was just living with them suddenly. And it was just like, I appreciate we're getting the snappiness of it, but I honestly think there could have been some kind of thing like Mario. When we were kids, I always wanted a pet dinosaur, and Dad told me I was stupid. I never have a pet dinosaur. We finally have a pet dinosaur. I think there's something kind of like that. Some kind of like, I'm this is off the top of my head. I'm not like trying to, once again, armchair quarterback a movie, but like at the same time, I just think there's something there you could have had to make it so like, oh, he's lost. He's scared. He doesn't know where he's at. You want to come hang out with us, little guy, for a little bit? Like, yeah, sure. Oh, he's on my motorcycle already, So there's something kind of like that rather than he's here and he's with us as opposed to like, he doesn't know anybody. He's scared. He's separated from everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Maybe it's that thing that just the way
like
everything's sort of broken up in this movie too is it's weird because it's like it's a galaxy movie, but it feels so small. Like it feels like it's almost missing some like adventure aspects. And I think about this with a lot of modern movies too, is because like the adventure genre has kind of dwindled a lot more. Like where like you could have made this galaxy search for Rosalina. Like that's where I felt like Mario, Peach, and all of them should have just went together, and you could have just had this, like they go on like the journey, like fucking like Dragon Ball kind of style, where each kind of section of the movie they meet like a new character and so on like that, and go through a trial and whatnot, and carry on their way, each time. Instead of just there's just like they're like scenes that you just kind of jam together that like you could really like remove them. And a lot of times they don't make much of a difference because you're literally just getting to the fucking airport. That's what this movie's all about. It's like fucking plane, trains, and automobile, but like they're just getting there for.
We got to make a 3:45 flight, basically.
Yeah, that's pretty much what is out of space, and fucking. They use that Zootopia joke for Rob where he's fucking slow because he's an 80s robot. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. And like, I thought that was kind of funny. Like the first time I was like, okay, it's kind of funny, but then it just like, it cuts back to Mario who's at the desk and he's doing the here. Like I kind of chuckled because you see it cuts to Mario like he's just waiting, so it was funnier in Zootopia, but I'm like, okay, whatever. Fair enough. It was a very quick joke. But at the same time, yeah, because everything seems so disconnected. And I guess you could say, like, okay, what happens to Star Wars? Well, they go to this planet, they go to that planet, they go to this space station, this happens, that happens, then it goes up the end. But they did a lot in that movie. And you could say in this one, like, well, they start off in the Mushroom Kingdom, they have a montage, they go here, they go there, they do all this crazy stuff. But at the same time, like, it doesn't feel like that much has happened just because, like you said, they're just trying to get to an airport and their goals are, like, Peach is on an actual mission. And it didn't take her a whole lot of effort. She just she got there. She got in a little like Luma and got to the airport. Mario and Luigi got like stopped for a minute. Then they got to the airport. Then they all got shot down. Then they all called the Lumas and they got a ride there. So it's like they go to probably as many places as like a space opera film, but it's like they're all separate from each other, so they don't feel connected. I know it seems like a weird critique, but it just it just doesn't feel like it's one cohesive story.
And I think they're in and out of areas so fast that like you almost didn't let anything simmer. I think that's kind of the big thing.
The honeybee world,
Yeah, they're just kind of there, and it's just like each thing has like a minute like thing, but like so much of that stuff could almost be taken care of. Like you could have just one section that you spent a little bit more time at and got the same thing as like three places,
Like for instance, like say when they get shot down in the R-Wing and they're on like the dinosaur world for a second, you could have a scene where Yoshi is like saving baby Mario or they're just doing some kind of adventure shit there. You could have that. Just have it like actually affect the story. So like they go down, like just simple enough, like ship gets shot down, they go down, the ship is like, we need the right wing. We need to get the right wing. So one group has to stay with the ship, fend it off from like monsters and dinosaurs and whatever. Other group has to go get the wing, I think
give it a reason. And the T-Rex has the wing for some reason. He's got it like stored in his like collection.
Yeah, or it's something like that. You know what I mean? So, and you get like a weird team up of like Mario, Toad, and Fox. Just some weird mashup like that.
Yeah, as I said, I think that's it. It's missing just a lot of like good adventure aspects, but I think just the quick cutting takes away from it. Like, yeah, it shows us a lot of neat stuff, but we don't get to hang out long enough. It's almost like they're afraid that like the kids' attention span, if you don't keep cutting, like they're gonna tune out.
I think that's what it is. I think
because I kid you not, there's sometimes like I'll see like YouTube videos, and if somebody cuts too much, I'm like, fuck you, I'm not watching your video. Like I like hold on a shot for longer than a second.
If it's like news related stuff and it just kind of like edits in a way of like to make the speech a little faster, I get that. But if it's like the blah, 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 just
it's like the fucking camera's panning back and forth. It's like one of those like, dude, you could just fucking talk. You could just fucking talk. Like you don't need to fucking edit everything you're doing. You're literally just talking.
The MTV, the old 90s MTV shit with the
black and white camera coming in from like a weird angle. Like, who'd you get the like? Well, Bobby. He did a lot of drugs, but he said he always wanted to be a cameraman. So we got him back here. He was literally hanging out the corner at the park. He didn't have an actual job. He lived in the back of a beat up van, but now he's a cameraman. Now he can buy his own heroin.
He was just following Tool around wherever they went, and like trying to like.
He was one of those tool heads.
Yeah. Selling bootlegs at the concert in the parking lot. Yeah.
He always got kicked out because he used to wear a Tool belt when he went into the show with a hammer and everything like that. Like, no, that's fucking weapons, son.
He was the guy that Maynard got into a headlock on stage.
But now he's got a job at MTV. But I think that's kind of it. Is like in Mario is like they're almost just cutting too fast from stuff and not letting anything simmer long enough. I don't know if that's but here I'll use this example. From the 1993 Mario movie that I know me and Ryan love and so on like that, that movie feels like they're legitimately on an adventure. Like story-wise, that one is, whether you like it or not, you got to admit that story-wise, it flows like in that like adventure style where they start off in Brooklyn. We learn about the characters. And so I know that one's a first one, so I guess it better be compared to the other one. But still, like it progresses through, which I will say there is some elements in this movie that remind me of the Mario movie. Like when Peach and Toad go through the wall, whatever. I was like that. I mean, I know that's in Mario games, but it felt like it was more referencing the movie than anything else. And they end up in the bad guy world and whatnot, which kind of remind me of like Koopa Town. I'm like, fuck, there should be a Dennis Hopper cameo here. I mean, I know he's dead, but we got CG. That's where CG comes in handy. Pull out some of that Star Wars shit.
I did like the casting of Luis Guzman as Wart.
I like that too, because I didn't know he was in it, and then I was like, oh, that's Luis Guzman. That's fucking bad. As I said, that part I love. Maybe just because I'm so excited to see Wart in something,
Well, I even still think that was a little cut, like, because how they get there, they're trying to find where Rosalina is. Then the monkey from Mario 64 steals Toad's
Oh
bag.
yeah.
They chase him into the black market district or whatever.
I gotta say,
And
I remember when that happened. That like when that monkey showed up, Laura's like, "Oh, look at the cute monkey." It's like, no, I ain't fuck that monkey. I know that. I know who that monkey is. That monkey deserves to die for stealing all those fucking hats back in the day.
which I'm glad that whatchamacallit, which Daisy actually punches the monkey out in the post credit scene. But
Oh yeah.
which I'm glad about that. But at the same time, the whole thing with that is like that was all kind of
She should have just
coincidental.
fucking curb stomped that monkey. Just like, oh shit, that thing got violent all of a sudden. It was like Gears of War at the end.
They just like
just his head's just fucking others.
its eyes out, just like why does this Mario movie have this R rating? Well, there's one scene where they kept it realistic.
Somebody's got to do that one of these days. They got to just fucking literally save the post-credit scene and make it the most brutalist thing ever, but then try to keep the rest of your movie totally G.
I'm just imagining just like some tacky looking movie, like Dinosaur Time, rated R. like is like you're just looking at it like, is this a joke? Like, yep, this movie is literally rated R. You want to find out why? Go see it. Like you watch like what is only like something, not even like a family movie, something aimed at children, but it's rated R just for like the science experiment to see like how does it do? What happens? What conversations come about this? But anyway, the thing I was going to say about this is it's kind of like once again, like it just seems kind of sloppy because they get to the airport, they're looking for information on Peach or on Rosalina. Their shit gets stolen. They follow it to the black market district. They find out some information. I honestly think he didn't have to get to the I know the Luma took them there, but I honestly feel like they should have gone somewhere else first. Like maybe it didn't. Maybe it could have been like some like casino or something the Wart was running. But I honestly think like I'm not saying like a whole like extra 10 minutes of the movie where they're in subcom fighting Wart, but I honestly think like Pete should have been like, oh god, I know what I got to do. But there's this king I overthrew back in the day, right when I first came Princess. Because technically, when you think about Mario 2, you can play as Peach the whole time. That could be your adventure. Like back when I first came Princess, there's this one king I overthrew in this other kingdom, and since then he's become a crime lord on this area over here. If anyone's gonna know, it's him. We got to go see him. Like I think, and you could still have like basically what happens. It's just we have a fucking reason. We didn't just stumble into it. You know what I mean?
Well, and then you could almost even show like a cool flashback when she's showing this and just give Peach like one of those old school, like her like Toadstool outfits kind of in a sense, modernize it, but like just kind of retro it up a little bit and so on like that. And like explain
like a 2-minute scene.
Yeah, exactly. It just once again add a little bit more context and adventure and stuff here. And then flesh out that Wart scene where that is like the mid boss, of this, movie game.
Yeah. And in all honesty, I mean, I would actually probably I would have probably gone like ballsy. I would like Wart's the bad guy of the movie, and Mario, Luigi, and Bowser got to work against him or something like that. Or like,
well, and there's the example. It's like once again, you take Bowser Jr. out. What if Wart was the guy who's putting the Doomsday Cannon together?
Like Bowser Jr. I mean, I get why you use him. I get that, but at the exact same time, I guess because he it's not that he's not interesting. He is interesting enough. It's just I think this movie goes more interesting and more smoother. Just like I don't know, just totally redone, I guess, in that way. It's just one of those things. It's yeah, I don't know. It's not the amount of fan service. It's just like we've seen it already, where you could have a crazy amount of fan service, be very accurate, but still be a very good movie. I mean,
yeah, Ready Player One.
Yeah, well, in the Spider-Verse movie, for instance, those movies, the Sonic the Hedgehog movies. So by this point in the MCU for the most part, but I'm mostly talking about these movies that are very like, hey, if you know, you know, which is by this point, in the Spider-Verse and Sonic, in my opinion. So this movie is like, if you know, you know, but at the same time, it's not very accessible. If you don't know, you don't give a fuck,
Yeah, well, I think that's the thing is just when it's cool, it's cool. Don't get me wrong, and that's the thing. Is I feel like that's why I have this middle of the road, lukewarm kind of feel about kind of both of them in a sense. Like it's not that I don't enjoy them, but I almost kind of wish I would enjoy them more. You know, like because they have the thing where it's like realistically, Mario looks great. Peach looks great. Rosalina, they all look like the characters. You know what I mean? They don't try to do that thing where like we're going to get a radical new design on them. You know, they're not pulling that kind of. Even though I like X-Men 2000, you know, but that thing where it's just like fuck the costumes kind of thing. You know, like let's put let's dress Mario up like he's a Caltrans worker. You know, that's what he's going to look more like, that orange and kind of like neon yellow look. You know, they don't do any of that kind of stuff. You know, they literally play the characters just how they look in the game and so on like that. But once again, the main one I can really compare this to is Sonic, because Sonic's the main competition for this movie. That's kind of the glorious time. We're in a Sega versus Nintendo era once again, but it's in movies. But where Sonic, you know, it has the solid story that carries all three of those movies through, you know, where like, you know, you kind of care, even if there is some goofy, there's a couple goofy side scenes and there's some other things like that, you know. And realistically, like screenshot wise, yeah, Mario kind of hits more accurately, but like story wise, I still think once again Sonic kind of carries that through. You care about the character, you care to see where they're going. They got more of, especially even like Sonic 2 has like a really good adventure aspect that kind of goes through that one.
Well, even like all three Sonic movies, I'll go as far and say I think Mario 1 is about as good as Sonic 1, in all honesty, just in different ways. But even Sonic 1 as well as Sonic 2, and definitely 3, because 3 has like with all the Maria and Shadow stuff. Those movies have way more emotion in them. Even Sonic 1, you have like 2 or 3 like real, like either like emotional or like heartwarming scenes that actually, yeah, you have some of the cringy humor here and there. But you know, you get the part when like Sonic actually loses. I remember seeing like that movie in theaters with my wife. We did not give a shit about Sonic. We both went into the movie thinking it wasn't going to be that great, but I just want to see it because it was Sonic, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, in the part when he runs through the ring, he's like, "Look, look!" And she, like, I heard her go like, "Oh," I heard her like audibly go, "Oh," you know. So, like, and she doesn't give a fuck about Sonic. And then she's not like in love with those movies. She's not amped for them like I am. But she's like, oh, I'll go see them. I mean, I think they're good enough, but I mainly like, I like them, but I mainly want to see Jim Carrey. That's what it's there for. But I think everything else is good, you know? So just like, okay, that's not like the greatest movie of all time. That's more than like what the Mario movies kind of get, you know? Where I think you don't have, I hear a lot of people who never played a Sonic game or never opened a Sonic comic love the Sonic movies. So, I mean, there's no moment where like in these Mario movies where you have like the giant foot about to come down on Sonic and his family, and like it's almost like Toy Story 3, like we're all gonna die together. Then he has the fuck yeah, like catches it, you know, and you know.
Yeah, exactly. You know, well, I think it's that too. You sort of mentioned that like someone can watch Sonic the Hedgehog and actually enjoy that without real any prior Sonic knowledge. I think if you went into this movie and you did not know really anything about Mario, like it would be kind of like, what the fuck is going on in here? There's like so much just cutting back and forth. There's all these characters and weird shit. Because that's the thing is, if you sit down and think of it like that, I'm like, it probably is pretty like chaotic for like, it's the fucking adult going into the Pokemon movie, taking their kid there, and they have to see that fucking Pikachu's island adventure at the very beginning where it's like, Pika, 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 bubba, 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 and you're like, oh, Jesus. You know what? Movie theaters need to serve alcohol, damn it. Don't you There's only one way this man can get through this. Sir, that wasn't the movie. That was just the intro. Whoa!
That guy's already worked through his whole 6-pack before the real movies even started.
Hopefully I'll black out in time.
No, this movie is like this, because this is one of those things like, yeah, there is like, you could still find some jokes or moments in Sonic where yeah, obviously it's more aimed at like a younger audience and for people who grew up playing it, but there's enough there for other people, I think. Where this one, I'm like, Well, I mean, there is enough there for older people if those older people played the game and they directly get that particular reference. If you don't, then this thing really does feel like it's just like it really does just feel like this thing where like did am I too old for this? You know what I mean? Like I don't want to sound like an asshole, like because I can enjoy like this kind of shit, and like if I didn't grow up with this, then I'd be like, am I too old for this shit right now? What the fuck am I doing in this movie theater? You know what I mean? Did I just walk into Paw Patrol? That's probably what's going through your mind if you never played Mario games.
Well, shit, they played a Paw Patrol trailer before this movie.
Well, that's not. At least I had Toy Story. I only had Toy Story 5. That's the only show.
Oh, I didn't see that shit. They didn't show me that one. I didn't even know there was a new Toy Story.
I don't remember when it's coming out, but yeah, Toy Story 5. It actually looks good, believe it or not.
Yeah, I've never not liked the Toy Story, I guess. So
bad guy in this one's like an iPad.
Woody's just fucking smashing the screen. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Trying to play with my fucking kid.
You saw the trailer, huh?
Andy's 62 now.
So you seen the trailer? Okay. Yeah.
He's a trailer, and fucking Woody's just fuck you, fuck you. Buzz is like, Woody, it's okay, you know. He's like, oh boy, we gotta stop the future. We gotta blow up AI. It's the only way so kids will play with toys again.
That's kind of sort of a plot. Not that we gotta like, not like we gotta stop Sam Altman quickly. We gotta do to Sam Altman what we did to Sid. It's not that, but like, it's but at the same time though, it is about like kids should not have tech. I mean, who knows? In the movie, you have some kind of middle ground on it, but kids should not have tech this young. Basically, is what.
Yeah, Woody's like, drop them off on a fucking island and let them see if they can survive. Like, Woody, Jesus. He's like, no, Buzz, no. I know you're from the future, but I'm not. I'm from the 18 fucking hundreds.
Is this the first time we've had like a red band trailer for a Pixar movie? I know it's the first R-rated Pixar movie, the first time a red band trailer.
It's just where we're like, Buzz is like, well, I mean, I got a computer on my arm. What's wrong with the kid having the computer? Like, he's kind of all for it.
He just like turns, looks at him, he starts like just punching like Buzz, Lightyear to the rescue, like and like chops the fucking arm off.
They fucking have a 15-minute brawl.
Yeah. Well,
like they live.
In the trailer, they're a side plot of it is they're not getting along again. And like somewhere in the trailer, like one of them says like, I'm so happy to see them actually not get along again, you know, something like that. Or it's good to see them fighting again, you know.
But fucking like probably the pig just like fucking like set it up that way. He's like, I need a little bit more. Yeah, that sounds about right. I need some fucking entertainment here. Life's too fucking short.
It was the pig.
Mr. Potato also is he's kind of a con man too. I could see him doing that.
I was showing my kid Toy Story 1 and 2, and he was liking them, but not as much as Mario. And I'll say Mr. Potato Head in the first one is he's like really kind of like the bad guy in the first one.
Yeah.
Other than like Sid. He's like the one stirring shit up. He's the one like egging Woody on to like kill himself, basically. You know? So like he's just so happy to see everyone else get taken down a peg. And he's just like fucking waiting, you know. In the second one, he gets laid, so he's like, everything's cool, you know. Whatever. Yeah. I got pussy finally, so I got some good old plastic potato pussy, and
I got my tater tots, heated up.
Or actually, technically, we could switch roles. We're kind of non-binary, so we just like play with each other's little like potato butt flaps. That's how we do it.
Well, it's all butt fucking in the potato kingdom.
Yeah. I don't know where else to go with that.
Yeah, but Toy Story there. So you got that trailer, but yeah, no, that is the thing is I think that's, and I know there's some people out there that's gonna be like, you know, like Mario once again is, we live in this kind of weird age where like there's people that are pretty much like literally our age who like still like enjoy their Mario and so on like that. There's not like that recycle where like at one point in time it used to be like, this is for 10-year-olds, and once you're 13 and you get a job at the steel mill, and that's it. No more of this cartoon stuff. No more of these, things like that. That's over for you now. You grab that pack of cigarettes and grab that shovel, and there you go. Where nowadays it's like that, but like they're still kind of always trying to tiptoe those lines of like, okay, well, should we make this like a kid's movie or a family movie? Because a lot of times I always say there's a big distinction between the two. A family movie should be that kind where like somebody from 5 to 95 should be able to watch it and generally enjoy it. A lot of times Pixar movies do a pretty good job of falling into that category. You can watch Up or you can watch any of those ones and like just about anybody's going to like it, where like a lot of times I always say kids movies mostly means there's like a hard cutoff that like there's a certain age range where it's just like, no, if you're fucking over probably 20, fuck it, you're not going to understand this one bit. Probably if you're over 15, you might not even be able to get this, and the Mario one kind of falls in a weird one where it's like, of course, if you like Mario and all that stuff, yeah, you're still going to enjoy it. And there's things like that. But once again, if you were removed from that or you just barely knew Mario, you're like, yeah, I played fucking Mario Brothers in 85, some of the stuff in here I feel is going to be so kind of almost like leaning heavier on the kids section and less on the family section.
Well, there's even some things about like even more recent Mario games where it's weird. Like maybe it's just me, but I feel like there's certain Mario games where it is almost kind of like you could be a child or you could be an adult who's been playing Mario since 85. Where other games are just like anybody can pick up and play this, but it almost seems more geared towards kids. And I say that in a way of like, I played Mario Odyssey, and that game feels like a child or an adult can play this game.
Yeah, super good.
But then you go and play something like a new Super Mario Brothers game, where it's a bunch of characters that are all like making silly noises, talking over each other, and it has the little like they stop and dance to the camera for a second and keep on going. That ha ha ha, that thing. And like game's fun, it's fine, but it almost seems like recycled Mario, like most overused, group focused Mario, not offensive. We don't want to make. And granted, I didn't play Wonder. I hear everyone say Wonder is pretty good.
Yeah, Wonder. I will say this: Wonder was one of the first Mario games I played in a while that I was actually like, oh, this is fucking legitimately really fresh and new feeling.
Okay, that's good.
Because that's the thing is Mario games for a while there, they were kind of like the new Super Mario Brothers.
3D.
Yeah, the new Super Mario Brothers series was kind of definitely the one where it's just like, here's the same fucking shit you've seen a bunch of times. Like, it was cool on the DS, don't get me wrong, and I like the one on the 3DS one just because it was like almost having like a new 3D one. But like, so many of them, it's just they sort of lost their kind of like attitude that there used to be like back in the day, because like I think of things like Mario RPG pushes the envelope pretty farther or forward, being like, oh, we've aged with our audience kind of game. Even Mario 64, I feel like anybody can kind of pick that one up, and it kind of provides a lot going on there. And then, there's some ones in between too that have always done a good job. But yeah, Wonder, I felt like that was a legitimate, really good Mario one out of all of them. But I know what you mean, though. There's so many games they put out there that are kind of like, they're almost more just geared towards the kids and so on like that, or they just make them a little bit too simple and so on.
Too easy.
A good example was Yoshi's Story back in the day on the N64,
Yeah.
Because that's that game where like, back in the day you've been like, oh, cool, it's Yoshi and everything like that. Like, when you can't look at it now, it's like, it is what it is.
I need to go back and play it. I kind of like it was one of those games like I got it, and then like another Yoshi game came out, like I'm good. And the other thing about like say, because you have all like whatever, be careful.
Oh yeah, be careful.
Yeah.
Or they're thinking about like your inevitable doom and death. So they have the cutscenes are darker in Yoshi's Story than anything else.
That's true, especially if, like you see them like if you die, you see them all carry you off to like the castle or whatever,
fucking hell or wherever Yoshi's going.
Yoshi goes to hell. Yeah, no. It's one of those things where like I don't know why it just popped in my head. Like, what if like this movie we were talking about like the kids movie that just had like the one R-rated thing? What if every time like Yoshi like had to like pop out an egg, it was like super like realistic and graphic, and it went from being like Yoshi to like like a guy, not Donald Glover, but it's like a guy who sounds like he lays tile for a living, 48 years old, has a bad back, and just like, oh my god, like
just squeezing it out.
Just squeezing it out. It just holds like on his like cloaca or whatever, and like, just like coming out, and then close up of his face, like look into the camera,
just tense pain,
screaming. He has teeth. He has gums. His gums are receding. They're yellow. They look like he smokes. Like his teeth. There's plaque. It's just like
highly detailed.
Just like right into the camera. Cuts back to like the cloaca. Just this thing just pushing out just ever so slightly, and then like maybe there's even like blood and like some whatever else, some bile or something. Yeah,
for some reason.
And then like cuts to like for just not even that long, for just a minute, cuts to like Mario or Luigi being like not like cartoonish, like just being
like Luigi's almost like gonna throw up.
Like Mario just like not knowing what to do, just mouth open, just like shit. I don't know how to help. If I step in, am I gonna make it worse? What am I doing? Just like Yoshi, my pussy. This is coming
and then when it finally gets out and he's just so relieved, he picks it up and then like just fucking chucks it, because I don't think Yoshi chucked an egg once in this movie.
He did it. What if he just like it's still after it comes out, sounds a cartoon, like and he gets out, and
then there's just this like just like very heavily animated relief.
He's in the rest of the movie. He just looks like out of it, just like because he's basically just gave birth. He's still on this adventure with them, and like,
and then it's just all fucking saggy butthole behind, like
just dragging behind him, leaving like a snail trail.
He's like, I need to get some hemorrhoid cream,
and like he's not interacting with anything. He's just there in the background. We just see him. He just like looks like he's dazed. Like he's just like barely there, like blinking, and like he's there for the ride, but no one interacts with him. No one talks to him. You just see him there, just like kind of like having trouble standing still, like standing in place. Maybe he needs to lean against something for a minute, and just drop his head. Oh, anyway, we should go to the Beehive Island, or
he sees like an ice river and he just like sits down and it just like
they don't call any attention to it. It's just something you see more passive.
It's like in the background.
And it's not like a joke. It's just like something you just see in the background if you're looking for it. Like those other moments I was talking about. Like, if you notice, like Mario and Donkey Kong shoot each other a glance at this scene right here. Like, if you notice, like Yoshi goes to soak his cloaca in like ice water for a minute, just like it nods back for a minute. Like, is there like talking to Star Fox?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it kind of bummed me out that Yoshi doesn't throw eggs. Now, I'm even thinking about this. Yoshi throw eggs anymore, or is that kind of like one of those things they ruled out, like Mario punching shit?
No, I think he still throws eggs. They don't want the kids throwing eggs or whatever. Yeah.
I don't know. It was like Mario doesn't punch anymore, so.
I think he didn't punch because, great, wrong. I prefer Mario punching, but at the same time, they probably don't want to be like, because in the 90s, I remember like kids weren't allowed to play Power Rangers because every day somebody would get punched or kicked in the fucking face. So they weren't allowed to play Power Rangers. Like, we're not playing Power Rangers, we're playing Beetleborgs. We're playing Super Sentai, just ways around it, But like, but then like, so maybe it's just like, we didn't want like, hey, let's play Mario.
Yeah, just big boom.
Boom, boom. Ooh, kick. Yeah.
Just like, but it's like those are those small things that I always kind of wonder. Like, it's like, did I take that away that from Yoshi that he doesn't chuck eggs anymore? Like, you can't have him chuck eggs.
I think he still chucks eggs. I just don't think it happened in the movie.
Yeah.
Because even when he eats something, they're just an egg for a second, then they pop out.
Yeah, that's true. It's not like he doesn't collect them either, and they're just dragging behind him, and like everyone's like, "Is that fucking weird?" They just what are they connected to?
They kind of like I want to say the one or two scenes where he has an egg. It's kind of like just rolling behind him for a second before who's ever stuck in it pops out.
Yeah, pretty much. It's not just like Yoshi just starts fucking chucking them at like fucking the space station. Yeah.
I mean, something I think we could say is the action scenes in this movie are actually pretty cool. Like, it's not just like, here's like a silly little I do think both these movies, both Mario movies, go out of their way to make actually cool action scenes.
Yeah, no, that part is really sweet in them. And like when there is battles and so on like that, they're legitimate. And once again, the platforming and all that kind of stuff looks cool. There's even just small stuff where like when Mario and Luigi are having to clean up the Mushroom Kingdom and whatnot, and they're going to like levels like it looks like Mario World's map thing. And there's some where they're like fighting like Hammer Bros and so on like that. And it looks pretty cool like when they're battling those guys out there. And they make it feel like what the game is, but just what it would look like in a 3D like environment and make sense. Like I give a lot of credit for that stuff.
Yeah, the thing is, it's not that it fails in the fan service or anything like that, or it doesn't fail at adapting the world. It just fails at like telling a narratively pleasing story, basically. And I like it, but I just don't really like. I don't know. I feel like when someone like Martin Scorsese gets on kind of like gets on a high horse about Marvel movies, I'm like, okay, well, which one did you see? I'm not saying every Marvel movie is like as good as like I don't know if there's
I saw Ant-Man 3.
Yeah, like no Marvel movie is as good as like say Goodfellas or Departed or something like that.
Yeah,
but at the same time, come on, don't be like, So
don't be a crotchety old man.
Yeah, this one right here, though, I'm not going to say it's not cinema. I think anything that is meant to elicit an emotion is cinema. But at the same time, though, I don't want to, because there's also those people going out there, those like critics that I think know they're bullshitting. You say, well, clearly this is the downfall of cinema. This is how it starts. Like, shut the fuck up. Don't this. Like some like 1950s equivalent of this didn't exist. Shut the fuck up,
Yeah, well, and there's always been goofy movies throughout time and so on like that, But
like the corporatization of it, like that kind of shit. Like don't come the fuck on,
Yeah. I do kind of have a theory though that I think Endgame is going to will be the last like major moment of cinema though. I'm not saying that like movies are going away, but like as far as like cinema stuff, because I just can't imagine there's going to be another
Doomsday
moment
or Endgame, like Marvel
Endgame, Marvel Endgame. Like, because I can't think of another time that there'll be anytime soon where like the theaters were legitimately packed to the brim. That felt like that was the biggest like last hoorah where like everybody came out of the fucking woodworks to come see a movie. As I said, they'll still be there, but I think that is literally in the title, Endgame. I feel like cinemas are kind of fading away because in California they're just kind of like falling off the map left and right throughout places.
I think it's still like you still get movies that aren't like IP connected that still do like gangbusters. I think we're just getting to the point where, well, two things. COVID happened, and I think once people realize they could just save on the marketing and all that and just stream it, they'll just do that. And then B, I think people also just have like franchise fatigue, but then the studios also put themselves in this position to where they rely so heavily on fucking franchises and like sequels and whatnot. So when something like Sinners or Marty Supreme does really good, they're like, what the okay. Granted, like Superman did pretty good. It didn't do as good technically as the first three Snyder films, but the thing about that is those movies had like lack of return on investment. They were more expensive, and they also came out at a time when superhero shit was in their heyday. So you could like lose a little bit of money on the back end. Like they had a bigger drop off. So it's like this point of like people were talking about Superman wasn't successful. No, it was very successful. That was 10 years ago, and this is the world we're in now.
Well, and I'll even say all those movies you did mention and so on like that, for the most part, like they still weren't in-game big, is what I'm kind of saying. They weren't like where like the theaters were packed to the max. Like, they had a decent turnout, because they made money. I'm talking about those ones where it's just like you have to go to see it. It's going to be like, a life-changing moment, that kind of stuff, like where the movie's larger than life. I legitimately think that Endgame might be the last biggest movie around. Like, as I say, I'm not saying that like there won't be movies. And I do think that the new wave is actually going to be, I think video game movies are going to start to have like a resurgence. I think that's going to be kind of the big ones now is with Sonic, with Mario. There's even that Mortal Kombat 2 that looks like it might try to turn that fucking ship around from the first one coming out next month. There's a new Street Fighter.
Yeah, I'm like, I think we'll still have like you said. I don't think that there ever will be the last of that. I think we just got to give it another. We got to wait for something else to come out. Maybe it's already happened. Who knows? Maybe it'll be Sonic 8. But we got to give it 10 years. We got to give it 10 years, 10, 11 years to marinate and then build up to a holy fuck kind of bonding thing. I'm joking. I don't think it's going to be Sonic, but like, I also think that Marvel.
That'll be the Smash Brothers movie.
No, I don't think. No, because they're not. They're too disorganized. And plus, one time was sometimes just fun to kind of like pitch a movie. How would you do it in your own head sometimes? And just imagine, well, how would you do like this, or rather the MCU, the NCU, the Nintendo Cinematic Universe, how would you do that? And at the same time, just like, I don't know, if it came out, I'd see it. But at the exact same time, what do you really get from like Mario hanging out with Samus? What narrative benefit do you get from like Link hanging out with Kirby? So I'm kind of like, because the thing about like Marvel, like Captain America can hang out with Thor or whoever. They can go in each other's movies and it feels more natural. But to like build up to Smash Brothers, be like, this character's movie, this character's movie, this character's movie, and then suddenly Smash Brothers are all together. I mean, without like them crossing over. I mean, granted, it happens here, but even here, it still felt forced. Like, I'm wrong. It sounds like I hated the movie. I didn't. I liked it. But that's all I did. I liked it. And I feel
middle of the road. I think that's the best way to sort of say it.
I feel like the reason I liked it is just because it was just hitting the nostalgia button just nonstop, and it's like I was happy to see like Fox McCloud on the big screen. And who knows, maybe this, in a very cynical synergy kind of way, maybe this opens the door to more Star Fox shit coming out, because
it sounds like there might be a Star Fox game coming out soon.
Well, Donkey Kong started getting a lot more once he came out in the last Mario movie. They started like, it was no longer like, it's another Donkey Kong side scroller that's kind of whatever, play it if you feel like it. You don't have to.
Get the bongos out, kids.
Hey, if you want to play a Donkey Kong side scroller, it's there. Like, no, we're bringing the Mario Odyssey team in to make a Donkey Kong game. Like, oh shit! Not only that, we're adding a Donkey Kong section to the theme park. Like, oh fuck. Okay.
Well, and the Donkey Kong was realistically, that was Switch 2's pretty much first big game. I know it came out like a month later, but they didn't have anything the first month anyways. So it realistically was Switch's 2's launch title was Donkey Kong, which I think is actually kind of,
or Mario Kart, yeah.
Oh yeah, well yeah, Mario Kart I guess did too. But like I feel like that's like the multiplayer game. Like Donkey Kong was like the single player game in a sense.
Yeah. No, it's one of those things. Like at the end of the day, like I actually got to get going here soon. But like I like I said, I like the movie, but I should have loved it. And I think that given how many, because other movies have done it better, like by this point, had like all this fan service, but still like a good story. Like Sonic the Hedgehog and Into the Spider-Verse, I think are two examples I keep going to.
Yeah, no, I agree 100% with you there too. I think that's the same way. I just kind of have a lukewarm feeling about it. Like I feel like I should like it more and so on like that. And but yeah, I enjoy it for what it is, and as I said, it's like kind of the first one. Like one of these days I'll check them out again, but I don't see myself doing it anytime soon. In a sense, I hate to sort of say it, I got my Mario movie. It's the 1993 movie. At the end of the day, that one will always deliver what I want for my kind of Mario era. And I know that might be just, time and a place type thing. But as I said, I love the story. I love the characters. I like the way they kind of go about it. And then, that one's so radically different, but it like works because it's like, well, it's live action and everything like that. I mean, there's always still that part of me too, where it's like, I watch it and go, if this was all that 2D animation, like that Star Fox, like 20-second scene or whatever, like I think I'd like this movie even more because that Star Fox fucking animation was awesome.
That even felt like a scene out of the Into the Spider-Verse, the way I was explaining it. Had that kind of like, okay, people, let's do this one more time kind of vibe to it, you know?
Yeah, no, I thought that part was so cool. As I said, once again, when the stuff's cool in the movie, it is really neat. It's disjointed. And I think it's just, I hope that the third one kind of presents a little bit more of not so much like a story that's put together by fucking minions or something like that, you know, or they're just like slapping pieces of puzzles together, you know, or it almost has that feeling like that fucking South Park joke when they're talking about Family Guy and it's like whatever the seals or whatnot that like fucking just pick the different like things out and they combine 3 things together to make a joke. Sometimes it almost feels like that. Like they just grab like, here's a bunch of different things from Mario. Just grab those and slap them together and we'll figure out a way to make them kind of work on our fucking 20-minute long story we got going here, you know, where Rosalina is going to be fired out of a cannon.
Yeah. Who knows what's going to happen in the next one? It's kind of hard to say. I mean, they're teasing Daisy, but this one wasn't strictly Galaxy. It was a big combination of a lot of shit. I mean, you know, so down to the level of bringing in Fox McCloud, you know, so we'll see whatever the next one is going to be. I actually, who knows, maybe they'll have another crossover character because technically Donkey Kong's kind of a crossover character because they never go to his world in the games. It's always they're in the same world and then Donkey Kong comes over for the spin-off shit, you know. So who knows what I don't know. Hey, we're going to Earthbound. I don't know. You know.
Yeah.
So,
I strangely almost thought, but like once I saw Fox, I was like, okay, there's gonna be some more kind of stuff in there. And there wasn't really. There was like a Pikmin split section or like there was a little pod that opened up and little Pikmin characters ran out.
Game & Watch reference.
Yeah, Game & Watch, Rob, like so stuff like that. But those all kind of still fall into more like Mario-ness. Like I was kind of like wondering, like the whole time I was like, well, if you got Star Fox in there, is there gonna be anybody else that pops in? And there was, especially for the fact that it was Galaxy. I was kind of going like, I wonder if there'll be like a Samus reference or anything else, or Earthbound or any of these things that are space oriented. But they might just do that where each movie kind of has one character, you know. And hopefully what they'll do if another one is they'll add like, it'd be cool if they had a little bit more. Like it would have been cool if you would have saw Peppy, you know, and Slippy and Falco and all that stuff as well. I mean, you see them in that 2D cutscene for a split second, but like if they would have found them at some point, at least they would have, even if they just had a cameo, you know.
Yeah. No.
Or they could have had fucking Captain Falcon and somehow when they're at that gambling planet with fucking Princess Peach, she should be like, okay, this is the thing. They have this like pod racer scene where like you got to place a fucking bet on here, and that's the only way you're going to get this information from Ward.
Moss Isley or something, yeah.
Yeah, no, like I don't know. There's so many things that you could have done where like it would have added those other things in there, but it would have added more story and continuation and so on. But I know we're just armchair directing this, like
it's kind of hard not to, you know.
But yeah, well, that's how I always feel with like those middle of the road movies that like have that thing where like they just feel like they should be a little bit better than they are. They're not bad. They're still enjoyable. Still definitely worth going out and seeing. But at the same time, it's like you just kind of walk away just slightly empty. Like you only got half full at a restaurant kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, gives that vibe. But yeah. Anyway, I got to get going here. But yeah, overall though, you know, I had fun, but just fun, you know. Maybe who knows? Maybe after a year of watching it over and over with my son, maybe he'll come in with like, no, dude, it's the best movie ever made. Who knows? We'll see.
On my 99th watch, I saw the fucking light. Well, you were also eating a bunch of mushrooms by that point. I thought I needed to get involved.
Yes, I'm watching mushrooms, getting high while watching my son. Yes.
It was that kind of day. Yeah. Oh, back in the day, it would have been like, I would have been 15 beers in watching the kid. Whatever. It's the fucking 90s. Nobody judges you then. Attitude era. Fucking Bowser's drinking a fucking 12-pack of beer in this movie, watching the fucking stars, sitting on the couch, contemplating life.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah.
But yeah, beyond all that good stuff, you can always check out more Old Man Orange podcast on YouTube and Spotify. Till then, I'm Spencer Scott Holmes.
And I'm Ryan Dunigan.
And we'll see you some other time.
Later, folks.